All right, we're going to talk Cardinals now. They are the best team in the NFC. But so them in the playoffs is a foregone conclusion. But what can hold them back, if anything? What's like the biggest weakness? What's the thing that can hold them back in the postseason? Paul, what say you about this?
Let's go philosophical here, boys. Their innocence is what will hold them back. And people will say, what the hell are you talking about, Paul? What are you drinking over there? You see Lorenzo over there with eggnog and the occasional water to make sure he stays on the float? What's Paul drinking over here? I got a Gatorade, Glacial Freeze, but it's neither here nor there. But the fact of the matter is, it's their inexperience. Let's be honest. Like, there's all these wow players all over the team. They're the best team in football right now. You look at the record, you look at the playmakers. Kyler's back, Hopkins back. But it's the fact of the matter that there are two ways not having playoff experience can help or hurt you. When you get to the playoff and you have no experience, you could be invincible. It's that kid that doesn't know pain yet, so they have to touch the burning pot to say, oh, snap, that's hot. You know, they have that mentality that they're invincible, that anything can happen. And maybe that's what happens here with the Cardinals. They go on a magical run. I'm going to lean towards the latter. They're going to be in the, wow, we're in the playoffs, guys. This is cool. Wow, look at this participation trophy. And then they're going to get smacked by some team that's been there, done that. Like, I don't know, Green Bay, Dallas, I guess, less so, but Green Bay's had a lot of success, Tampa Bay, sure, right? And they're just more recent with their last year, but still, that playoff veteranship can get the Cardinals. That to me is the thing that I think goes beyond just like a simple question like coaching or this or this. I think it's a relative inexperience that can really hurt a team going in. We've seen it over the last 20 years.
What say you, Mr. Reyna?
If I saw it correctly, they are actually the worst in the NFC West at this stat, run defense. I think that, especially heading into the playoffs, that could definitely put a dent and hurt their chances. I do agree with you, Paul. The inexperience factor, especially considering the fact that Arizona's full of guys who their last big experience in a football setting was perhaps the national championship game in college. Well, that's different. That's different compared to the NFL. But teams that run the football on you, and you have a hard time stopping the run, that could definitely come back and haunt you, especially if Arizona faces Dallas and Ezekiel Elliott. Perhaps they also get Tampa Bay with Leonard Fournette, maybe Green Bay with Aaron. I mean, it's like that. I feel like that run defense could be their kryptonite.
I would have to agree with you, Reyna. I thought I thought I was going to be the only one that said that, honestly. I would say that is the way you attack Arizona at this point. Right now, I think they're giving up 4.7 yards per carry. Yeah. That is a massive amount for a winning football team. And it is a way to keep that high-powered offense off the field. I think if there's some place that they do miss J.J. Watt, it's there in that interior run defense. But I think that and a combination of what Paul said, which is the inexperience, is the thing that potentially bites them the most. And it can actually kind of be a snowball effect. If they're struggling to run the football, if they're struggling to stop the run, their opportunities offensively, which is where their biggest strengths are, is starting to dwindle. And so now when Kyler and company are on the field, they're pressing. They're forcing things. They're trying to make bigger plays with every possession because they're not getting as many possessions because the defense is tired. They're getting run down the field by a team that is focused and has a strong game plan and the offensive line to execute a run-first attack. So it's a combination of the two, but I think it starts with their inabilities or their struggle to stop the run. So the question is what could hold them back, not what will. I'm not predicting this will happen, but this is how I could see it happening. What about you, Paul?
Oh, you mean me, right?
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry, Ryan. I'm sorry. We started with Paul. I'm very sorry.
I will reiterate the same point again. Yes.
You should say it again because clearly I didn't hear it.
I'm going to go with two things. First of all, it's tough to find weaknesses on this team. I mean, the result speaks for itself, being 10-2, 7-0. Every win is above 10 points. So the first one I'm going to say is home field. I mean, they're only 3-2 at home. They probably should have been the Packers. Let's say if AJ Green, makes that catch, if that miscommunication doesn't happen, they probably win that game. The Vikings game was a little bit sus. They probably benefited from Craig Joseph missing that field goal, so they probably should have lost that game. And I'm also going to say health as well. Like that, I feel like that's the biggest thing of everything. I mean, Kyler Murray missed 3 games. DeAndre Hopkins missed 3 games. J.J. Watt is hurt. Rodney Hudson was out for a little bit. He had COVID issues. The Cardinals, if they keep getting injuries, that's going to be a very big problem. I mean, I think that's why they were very safe. They were saying, you know what, we have a bye week. We're going to give Kyler Murray the extra week because, they didn't have him play against the Seahawks. So I think that's the 2 H's right there. It's health and it's home field. But I think the experience part, while I agree with Paul in a way, I think they could very well be the Phoenix Suns of the NFL. The Phoenix Suns, people were probably saying before the playoffs last year, no experience. Devin Booker, very young. Aiden, very young. But guess what? They got Chris Paul into the mix, and the Cardinals, they've gotten Rodney Hudson into the mix, AJ Green into the mix. They've got a lot of veterans, James Conner. So they have a lot of experience at the same time in terms of being veterans. So they have Justin Pugh on that offensive line. Yes, Kyler and a couple other guys obviously are young, Budda Baker. But, man, if they get that number 1 seed, they only have to play 2 games. And Kingsbury's been a world beater. And that offense, it's very tough to beat the Cardinals.
It is. They have so many weapons. And when he gets outside of the pocket, he can break everything you've done in the first 4 to 5 seconds of a snap because of his ability to extend the play, make plays with his legs, and like I said, just get things open downfield. So, and they have so many tough covers, in the receiving game. They're tough. Mm-hmm. They're tough, but you got to keep
point,
that.
By the way, I just want to give credit to Ryan real quick on that point. He brought up the Phoenix Suns. Again, if you look at them last year, they were the first loser. That's a great point, Ryan, is that all that youth and mix of experience, that was the perfect combination for being the first loser and getting all the way to the finals and losing. Great point.
What? Huh?
Great point. Great point. Great point. Great point.
I don't get it. But
okay. So does it.
He's out of it.